information is not the thing which is going to bring about any transformation within you. What is going to bring about any transformation is, have you developed that habit of taking the effort to bring about the clarity within yourself? One is your intent to bring about clarity, and second is your whether or not you are equipped to do that.
You have had a few episodes of Unravel now. What what is the basic purpose behind you starting a podcast or seeing?
Yeah. So uh, we have had a few episodes of Unravel, and I think I have not really mentioned about this to the larger audience about what the intent behind this podcasting is. I think just on the YouTube channel which we have, just a brief description I have given. That's all. Apart from that, it's good that you brought this up. I get a chance to explain this entire intent behind this. So, what I really feel is that in this current generation of the world, okay, the youth has got a major key role to play in. Especially when you look at it from the Indian context, the current average age of an Indian is actually 28 years.
Okay.
So we have a huge demographic advantage on which we are sitting on. Are we really using it to the extent possible? Can we really bring it out to the best? Because there's a great platform which has been created both by the technological situation that we have evolved to currently, as well as due to a certain political peaceful atmosphere which is currently existing.
Yeah.
Now, when I mentioned political peaceful atmosphere, that is in comparison to what was happening the days of the wars and all in maybe 1,000 years back.
Yeah.
That way, it's a very peaceful kind of a situation. So this is a real setting. This is a great setting for the youth to really do his best. But when will the youth really do his best? He will really do his best when he has adequate clarity of how and what has to be done. Now, I feel that particular element is kind of missing somewhere, where everything else seems to be all right, but still something fundamental is not so all right.
There's something lacking.
Yeah, something, and I feel that this could get, if that level of element of clarity is not really corrected, this could be a ticking time bomb. I'm not trying to make any doomsday prediction here and scare people, but through my limited observation, that's what honestly I'm looking at.
Oh, ticking time bomb as in?
Yes. So, see, we are really good as a human population. We are really good, and we have kind of mastered gathering. Okay, we have kind of mastered materialistic gatherings.
Okay.
We know how to exploit and explore the length and breadth of this planet and even outer space these days.
Yeah.
Okay. So we are really good at that. But as they say, the basic principle of economics, that demands are infinite and resources are scarce.
Yeah.
Okay.
Supplies.
Yeah. So that is underlying. That's underlying anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
While we go thinking that the resources are there for consumption forever, the resources are going to last forever. That's not the reality.
Oh, definitely not.
Yeah. While we know that on a superficial level, but are we having an in-depth clarity about it? And are we even able to observe the trajectory of how things are going? Which requires a certain level of observation.
Mm-hmm.
Now, from where will that observation come in from? Are we creating or nurturing a culture where we actually bring in the youth and train them to observe? From observation comes clarity. Not observation and looking at things are two different things. Observation is when you're trying to delve deep. So that has to be nurtured. because people don't come because this requires some kind of a nurturing, for which the human mind does have an innate capability within him. But if you give the right nurturing, it can become spectacular. Can we make that attempt by trying to delve in deeper and deeper into any topic, for that matter, what we may choose to have this kind of a discussion on the platform? I am open to actually discussing anything and everything which anybody who comes onto the platform and would like to have a discussion on. I'm not really guaranteeing any expert level advices or any advice or any such fancy answers, or what I'm but 100% guaranteeing is we will go as much as deep as possible. How much, as in the movie The Matrix, what Morpheus, if you recollect this, well, I'm very fond of certain dialogues of this movie. So when Morpheus actually offers the blue pill and the red pill to Neo, he mentions, "You pick up the red pill, and I will show you how deep the rabbit hole goes." It's okay. If you take the blue pill and you go back to your old life as business as usual. So that red pill is what is the intent behind offering. So both to the participant who's on the platform as well as the wider audience who's viewing this, how deep can we go and dig into things and try to bring out the truth? Now there's also a certain tradition to this. The great Adi Shankaracharya, who lived on this planet about 2000 years back. Now the date, I know that people will have some opinions about when exactly was he. There's a huge chunk of people who would believe that he's 980, but I have my reasons why I still believe it is 1 BC. And there are some experts who have supported the 1 BC theory. Nevertheless, what he brought about is Tarka Shastra. All that he did is he traveled the length and breadth of the country. Any village he goes, he says, anybody who wants to come on board for a discussion, please come. And based on the intensity of the topic and the discussion, they are actually trying to lead to, it could eventually lead to a situation where if Adi Shankaracharya is actually able to convince the other party, then he has to be willing to drop his preconceived notions, and he has to be willingly come on board. Yeah. And
come on board as in
come on board as in that's also an important point. For which then we'll have to get into the discussion of Mandan Mishra with Adi Shankaracharya, where Adi Shankaracharya actually has a basic single line saying that the Atman and the Brahman is one, whereas there's a large school of thought which believes that why should the self and the larger universe, how can they be one? Okay, there's a clear distinction between them. So Shankaracharya tells Mandan Mishra, if I convince you, you actually become my disciple. If you convince me, I become your disciple. I am willing to become your disciple, but are you also willing to become my disciple if I win the argument that way? Again, Adi Shankaracharya is not fond of accumulating disciples. He's not. That's a burden, honestly speaking. Any spiritual person will understand that very well. But nevertheless, he is trying to bring about some clarity in the society. That is his intent then. So the methodology being adopted is Tarka Shastra. How deep can you dig into any topic? Yeah. Just with this one sentence opening statement, they get into a discussion, and it's a very, very interesting discussion if you get into it. If you actually go through it, how they structure the entire discussion, and finally how both of them are equally convinced that now finally we have reached some truth.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is a legacy to this kind of a discussion that we have, and I feel this is what is much more needed. And whatever podcasts or so which we actually see on the net, which is there currently, what I've seen is that there's a set kind of a questions which the interviewer is bringing in. There's an expert who's on the other side. The expert is really, we are not disputing his expertise or anything, but it's more of a one question is being asked and an answer is being given, and then we are moving on to the next question. Now it does, at the end of the podcast, it does give a certain level of information to the audience. Yeah, definitely it gives a level of information. I but stand by this thing that, with my experience, that any amount of information that you're going to gather today, information is not the thing as it was earlier. Today, any information you need is as much available easily if you're willing to dive a bit deep. Take some effort. Everything is there on the net. Anyway, information is not the thing which is going to bring about any transformation within you. What is going to bring about any transformation is, have you developed that habit of taking the effort to bring about the clarity within yourself? That activity is what is going to transform you.
Clarity as in?
Yeah. Not taking anything on face value.
Okay.
Okay, that is one level of one way of defining that. You are not willing to take absolutely anything on face value. You have an understanding of what is the thing which really matters. Okay, things are good, but does it really matter? Things might be bad, but does it really matter? I'm just saying two different situations could be. Are you willing to take that next level and try to delve into it? So, because see, there is a certain pace at which things are moving around you. Okay, and you are also part of it.
Yeah.
In vague terms, you can call it as a rat race, which is a term which is being used in the corporate these days. Okay? Everybody's on a rat race. So when you are on that, you tend to lose vision of or sight of what you actually need to do, because there are certain forces which is actually are kind of carrying you along with you. Yeah, you are just part of it. There's a set structure for a week which you are probably following. On a weekday you do these things, weekend you do these things. Yeah, and when
Normal routine.
Yeah, and when you actually just sit back and wonder, you would have probably, you can actually see that you're kind of living hardly 1% of a human life which you could either way have lived. I'm not trying to advocate, leave everything and go and sit in the mountains. No, I'm not at all talking about that. The real deal of evolving as a human being is when you have that certain clarity about this life as a whole. You are able to even observe things around you. Observations in the sense could in all aspects. One aspect is, for example, how often are we even noting the movements of the sun and the moon? As simple.
Probably
I mean,
never.
yeah, we all have learned a lot of geography. I mean, a lot of science, basic science about these things in school. After that, are we even caring to even take note of these large heavenly bodies which actually dictate so many things in our lives? For example, like all of us are born out of our mother's wombs. There's a certain cycle which the female body has, which is exactly coinciding with the cycle of the moon. 28 days is the cycle of the moon.
Oh, okay.
That is the cycle of a female body.
Oh, yeah.
So now, see, I'm. It doesn't give me any pleasure to mention this thing as some kind of a thing which nobody is aware of. This is something which we should have everybody being just we know. It should have been like that, honestly. But because the entire education, what we are going through, is not kind of kindling that thing in our mind and making us naturally inquisitive. And yeah, because the human being actually is very capable. The human brain is out and out capable.
Oh.
Yeah, it is only that are we able to nurture culture around it such that you can bring about the this inquisitive nature out. And this inquisitive, and see, because everybody is having his own individual backloads of karma, so everybody's intellect on the surface will work in different ways.
Yeah.
And everybody's innate genius is also going to flower in different fields. Yeah. But we are so lagging even in our education system, where we are actually trying to put everybody through the same extruder and hoping that everybody comes out in a certain way. Somebody who's probably great at maths is supposed to be a very good student. Somebody who does average or less than, he's supposed to be weak. He's a weak student. How could you go that length to define a human being as a weak person? What gives us even the right to even put it on a paper, say a report card for that matter, and
On the
say
basis of what you're learning.
so which is so elementary, I feel. You have some academic subjects on which somebody is not scoring so well. In my personal experience, many of my even colleagues with whom I grow up, which my own school has written off saying that these guys are a lot of weak students. I was kind of more bit of average, kind of somewhere fitting in between in my school days. So these written off guys, they are kind of running successful businesses today.
Maybe they learned the other side, no?
I feel probably they were that was the lot who had the necessary awareness to understand that this is not really what matters. This can matter to ensure survival to a certain extent, where you will end up a job, which will give you a salary in your account, with which you can buy some essentials, with which you can buy some essentials, which will ensure survival for you and your kin at home. What beyond that? just by one remote analogy, the human mind's capability, they say the entire library of some library, which is some world's one of the largest library in the US, the entire all the books which are kept there, entire information of that can be is still can be stored in the human brain, and still there will be space.
Oh.
So so now talking about that, everything actually gets registered. It is only in the human brain, human mind. Whatever you are going through in these 24 hours, including the time when you are sleeping, it is just whether do you have the capability to bring it out when you want, when you really want it, recollect it when you want it. Otherwise, all the five senses are always aware and always on.
Okay.
Yeah, they are always registering things. Do you have it? That is where this hypnosis, when they do, they try to
Even when we're sleeping,
yes, absolutely,
What?
absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
So that is where in the hypnosis, when they do this hypnosis, so they do these things and they bring about some memories from the past, which the person would have actually no clue,
No idea
no idea about.
But
it
it's
is
there
actually-
in his brain.
It is there in his brain.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Hypnosis and hypnotism are two different things.
No, I meant the same. Yeah.
Oh.
Hmm.
So wait, so in hypnotism, they actually bring out things that's actually there inside the human brain,
Yeah.
where this person has gone through it.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it is also part of some treatment
Uh-huh.
where first you have to dig out something from the past.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then you correct from
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Because something in the past would be from the past would be haunting that person,
Okay.
and that is affecting his psychological behavior today. So then that has to be first unearthed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these things are registered in your mind. It's only your ability to bring things out.
Okay. I think it's if everyone have the ability to bring things
Exactly,
out, they'll
exactly.
have more clarity about it.
Exactly. So that is where one is your intent to bring out clarity, and second is your whether or not you are equipped to do that. Okay. Now while we can actually bring about a culture where you are bringing about the right intent, and intent is now very well understood that yes, this thing is a necessary thing, bringing about clarity within a lot of students or kids of the certain age. This is the most important thing to be done. Once that clarity is established, now you have to now start working on making the person equipped to do that, because everybody has got a different physicality and a
So right now you mean intent as in whether a person wants it or not.
so again, not to that individualistic level, at least the system around is the
Okay.
system now being tuned to bring in have the education in this particular manner.
That is equipped, right?
That
That
is-
is the part where being equipped comes into.
I'll delve a bit into this. That is, see, now once you have the system around, you have knitted the system around. But now, when I'm talking about equipped, the person who's, for example, your teacher-student
Okay.
relationship, kind of. Now, a student, is he equipped enough to absorb things? Teacher, is she or he equipped enough to deliver it?
Deliver things.
So for which you need to now equip them. So in regular parlance, I can just say that is where teacher training, what they do. They have a certain syllabus, and now they equip the teacher to deliver that syllabus to the student.
To the student.
Yeah, and then they have an evaluation for the student whether he has got it or not.
Okay.
Yeah, that is in very amateur, very regular kind of thing which I can explain. However, this clarity of what I'm talking about, this will go far more deeper, and this actually makes this entire teacher student thing much more serious than what we could envisage. So when was it being done earlier? Probably the Gurukul system in ancient India. Yeah. So where we actually did this and we brought about phenomenal human beings.
Mhm.
Like name a few, right from the Arjuna and everybody. Like whatever activity there, archery, there's nobody better than him.
Mhm.
That kind. So you actually bring about the hidden genius of each person. One is good in archery, one is good in something else, one is good in something else.
Don't you think? I mean, I personally feel we are enough equipped to deliver it to the people, but the people should also have that intent to accept what is being
Yes.
given, right?
Yes. So now people's intent. Now we'll come to the people's intent. Right now, up till now, I was talking about the intent of the system or the administration who's actually governing things. Whether that intent can be driven down to them, so that they at least have the intent to that this is what is
Deliver
needed
to the people.
Now, on the other side, you brought about like what about the people having the intent to actually imbibe this?
Yeah, isn't that the biggest problem?
Yeah,
Other
so-
than the other part.
Yeah. So now Fortunately or unfortunately, now, okay, how will this intent manifest itself? This person, so for example, me, whether or not I have an intent or not, how will I manifest this? This manifestation, if you have to if you have to get a hang of whether or not I have the intent, you can gauge it from the kind of choices which I am having, or the choices which I make.
Huh.
That is one thing which the choices which I make will kind of give you a fair picture about what is these choices are driven by what intent.
Yeah.
Correct. But now these very choices which I make, what are they driven by?
Okay.
Yeah, because there is certainly a large commercial force activity are moving around me. If I really sit back and actually think about it, almost 80% of my choices are actually dictated by the commercial forces around me. If I really sit back and think.
Commercial forces as
In the sense, yeah. I'm not saying that, there are some demonic commercial forces or something. No, absolutely not. I'm not talking about like that. Absolutely commercial force. For example, now I want to go from place A to place B. How do I go? I have an option of walking, bicycling.
Yeah.
But the commercial forces may have made sure that I can actually afford, if not anything, at least a motor vehicle, even of the lowest grade also. That the commercial activity which has happened in the country over the last 50 years, that has brought that option to me. I really need not ride a bicycle or walk. Okay. Yeah. So my choice is already dictated by that. It is going to be a motor vehicle.
Okay.
The color of these things could be that is all this probably may be left to me. That's all is left to me. Otherwise, the major chunk of the decision making is between you take a bullock cart or walk, or whether you take a motor vehicle. It is motor vehicle. That is already dictated. That is defined already. I really actually don't. Even if I want to do something else, it will be a bit silly that when everybody else is going to be traveling from A to B within half an hour. Why would I do that for within 4 hours, right?
Yeah, true.
And do I even have that much time? Because I've got other things lined up to do. So that choice. So the choice is already detailed. Now then food. I now assuming that I feel that organic food is the thing for me, is the thing that is the best time. Do I really have the choice to actually eat organic 7 days a week? Now I may have a choice. At the best, I have a choice to go to this store and pick up a packet which is labeled as organic. That's all I can do.
Yeah.
That's all I can.
You could grow it also, no?
Yes, but now if I decide to grow, now first of all I will have to either purchase a large chunk of land, or I will have to lease it out.
Yeah.
Okay, and there's so much of activity to be done where I will have to leave out all my other activity currently and just engage myself full time in it to make sure that it actually grows. Because farming, it is much difficult than what we actually might what one might envisage. Yeah,
true.
Yeah, because I've tried that many times,
okay,
and I failed as well in certain quarters. I've succeeded in some places. So I really understand how difficult this farming business is. If you want to do organic, if you want to do organic, if you are happy to put in all the pesticides and fertilizers, you are like 70% through. Your fruits and vegetables will come up.
Okay.
But if it is organic, you had it. So, but still people are succeeding in that.
But we could use organic manures or something. No?
Yes.
But is there organic pesticides?
Claims are there. Yeah. Claims are there. So that's where now, at the best I can do is I can go to the shelf and I can pick up something which is termed as organic. That's all. So if I really want to make it 100% organic, I should actually start growing even the pesticide. I should be preparing myself. Yeah. Yeah.
Again, it's a long process.
Yeah. So, and you have a short life.
Yeah. So instead of that, you choose KFC.
Yeah. So that is where all my choices, how much ever I might think that it is my choice, it is almost kind of 80% predefined by the commercial activity which is going around. Now, connectivity. You are going to use a Wi-Fi system. Yeah. It is as much required, and commercial activity has managed to bring it down to a price point where we can afford it.
Now, Jio just gave it all all of us for free. No?
Yeah. So that price point is there now. So they have brought it down. Okay, it is difficult for you to afford. We are there to bring it down. When nobody could think about mobiles. I know I'm not here to market Reliance, Dhirubhai Ambani or whatever, but that is what he did. He brought in the 501 501 ka mobile. So that's
CDMA, no?
CDMA. And that just changed the whole picture.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Until then we thought that this is only for a certain segment of people who are working above a certain position in the corporate sector. True. Now then suddenly everybody has got this 501 ka mobile. So it just changed the entire market dynamics. So commercial activity is defining everything right there. Now here is connectivity, what we talked about. We spoke about food. we spoke about connectivity, we spoke about travel, right? Now, can you think about any other activity for that matter? It is already predefined. My allowable limit of choice making, the bandwidth of choice making, is as limited as it is. Say 10% or even less maybe.
Because it's getting little easier for us, no?
So yeah, that is another interesting aspect which I would like to mention talk about. That is, I'm increasingly coming to this notion that convenience is a trap.
Convenience is a trap.
Yeah. Now, why?
Probably, yeah.
Huh. See, because on one aspect, what is the harm in convenience in terms of transportation, for
Comfort.
example? Yeah.
Whatever.
What is the
you're comfortable.
harm in being comfortable? Something is there comfortable. Why do you want to take the difficult route?
People will call you mad if you start
Yeah,
walking
absolutely.
for 4
Why would you
hours.
like to crawl down if you can take a car, right?
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So the thing is, the underlying thing behind this, how I would like to put it as is, this thing of convenience. While you should actually use convenience as a utility,
Okay.
rather than this setup of convenience defining you. Now I'll further.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what you want to do should be something which is very very much to you. Okay. Should be by you, decided by you, thought about by you. For doing that, you can pick up convenient options.
Okay.
Okay, whatever is the best. Convenient means whatever is the best, consuming less time, less money, less resources, and bringing about the intended stuff. So, in which case you are on top of the convenience thing which is around you. You have a notion in your idea what you want to do, and this is what you are using. Using things around
The
you.
decision is mine.
Decision is yours. However, if your decision is being influenced by the convenience around you, for example, so whatever is existing around you, you are not able to think beyond that. Now that has caught you into a certain grip where your observation doesn't even go beyond that, because kind of, I'm sparingly using this word, where it has kind of hijacked your thought rather. Okay, where see, why I'm emphasizing on this is very temporary in nature, honestly. This convenience thing is driven more or less by technology. Okay, in whichever way it is. Okay.
Only by technology.
Yeah, absolutely. So which keeps on changing every time. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah. So now, if you try to structure your life around something which is as temporary as it may, yeah. If you are trying to structure your thought rather, or your intent of what you want to do in your life around something, just around something which is just temporary in nature, you will never really be able to reach there where you could have reached, which you are currently not even able to think about. Putting it in another way, you can actually dream about things which is there already in your experience.
Okay.
Whatever is the memory which is fed in your mind, that is what is actually kind of dictating your choices and your decisions generally.